Happy Halloween, my class. Today I am waiting for the Patriots to start their game at 4. And truth be told, I never really sit and watch it. But I still am a Patriots fan. I just usually am not sitting down at that time during the day. I think it's a 4 o'clock game. I want to talk about last Thursday's class, our Zoom class, when we had the speech of history. It really was a cool class. We had excellent presentations. They're all recorded on Zoom. We missed so much. We missed Isha and Margaret and Crystal. But ladies, you were there in our spirit and our heart, and we knew you all had your reasons. At one point, Stephanie said, I bet it's because there's no power. I said, I bet that's true. The day before, on the Wednesday, my Zoom class was totally interrupted because of power outages and losing internet. And we just breathe in, breathe out, and keep going. We do the best we can. On our Zoom class on Thursday, Kareem was in the Salem, Massachusetts library because he was taking in the holiday festivities and what was going on in Salem. I thought that was really cool. Autumn was up in New Hampshire with her mom. It was just like a wild day. Stephanie was coming back from the gym. Alex was sitting true and steady, just listening to all the women, all of us chatting and keeping up our energies and supporting each other. So it was really cool. And Reba, of course, is just an amazing spirit, and she is steady and true to herself and always has content that makes us all say, wow, I'm so glad I listened to that. So come this Thursday, November 4th, we have another Zoom class. And I say this with great respect to you because I know you read your calendar. I know you could see that. But I want to remind you because I was taken aback by it for a second. I was like, wait a minute, we're having back-to-back Zoom classes in November. That was something that went through the registrar's office, and when they decided to bring them together, I didn't disagree. I thought I'll be okay, it'll be fine. But now the time is here, it might not be fine. So I have opened up another Zoom class, although this one could be controversial because it's on a sacred holiday on November 11th, Veterans Day. This is a sacrilegious day in my family. I have many World War II veterans who have passed but have served, and I know my mother would be rolling in her grave if she knew I was going to say we will do a Zoom on the 11th. But I'll open it up. I really will. It's not required. It is there specifically for any students who would like to do either their speech of history or their persuasive speech on November 11th. And it's perfectly valid. I will have the recording on. I will be there. Please do not feel like you need to go. Certainly not. It is a Veterans Day holiday, but it's also another time for us to get together. And if you don't stay too long, you just come and do your speech and leave, that will be fine too. So it's an optional day for everyone. But we're meeting November 4th, and that is for the persuasive speech if you are ready to do it. If you're not, you'll do it on November 11th and find some time between. We'll probably be there on November 11th from like 11 to 1 at least, probably. We have it. This class, I'm obviously feeling quite connected to you because I love our conversations after the speeches. Sometimes that's when we feel the most connected and also more relaxed with our oral communication skills. So it's really good. Anytime in class, if we got into a big class discussion that went beyond class time, sometimes we'd have to take it out into the hall or walk outside. I always felt like, well, that there is great value because all of public speaking is about repeating our oral communication skills. And the more comfortable we are with the sound of our own voice, thinking and speaking in the same moment in real time, the more energy we have that we give to that, the more times we listen to others and we let those voices like immerse us in public speaking, the more comfortable, the more confident, and the more we own it. The only difference between myself and someone just starting their public speaking career is just time. It's not as if I have greater intelligence. It's just that I have practiced this skill set to the point where whether I'm good or bad, that's another judgment that I don't always see right away. I can do. I can facilitate a presentation. If I'm asked to speak or do a workshop, I know I can do it. Some are better than others, right? And I am a self-study for myself in myself because I always feel like a student. So this coming Thursday, November 4th, we will do our persuasive speeches if you are ready to do so. If not, November 11th. And then for Isha and Margaret and Crystal, if you are ready to do your speech of history, then please come on November 4th. And if you want to do 2 speeches on November 4th, you absolutely can. Absolutely. We have enough time. And I have put up, I put up those PowerPoints. If you remember, we lost, because of a domain crisis, we lost our virtual text, the public speaking project. And even though the creators have contacted myself and other faculty who use it, saying it'll be up this semester, I have no faith it's going to be up this semester. But they suggested using the PowerPoints, and then I've never used them before. And I am quite enamored by them. So I like the 2 of them I put up for this week, the persuasive speech, and then the speech about reasoning and critical thinking. They're short. They're like 5 to 7 minutes long, but they do get the essence. I like the repetition. I'll often listen to something like that 2 times, 3 times, and then it takes me right back into my English classes, right? When we were being taught critical thinking, reasoning, persuasive essays. This is exactly the same foundation you're going to be using for your persuasive presentation. Now, your persuasive presentation may be on a very serious topic that means a lot, and there is controversy, and there is another side to your argument, and that's fine. Or it could be much more subjective. It might be something personal for you, like your favorite author, or your favorite restaurant, or a vacation spot, or your favorite type of footwear to wear for running. So it doesn't have to be highly controversial. I know when I started doing persuasive speaking back in undergraduate days, we would have to have some persuasive speeches that were incredibly controversial so that we could argue a side of like in a debate, argue one side of the argument, right? Present our case as a lawyer would do. But other times we would have more lighthearted. The PowerPoint talks about Alan Monroe's motivation sequence. If you look at those 5 steps, realize that's probably how you've been trained without knowing it came from Alan Monroe. The first step is attention getting. Get your audience to know there's a reason to pay attention to your speech. What's in it for them? Very few people will listen to anything unless they think there's something in it for them. Is it going to satisfy an emotion or a need? So you have to think universal, right? But we're practicing. Don't forget that. We're practicing at this. And then the next step is to talk about the need for this. Like, why would this be so good? You might talk about let's say your attention. Let's say you're talking to a loved one and saying, we should take next weekend off and go up to New Hampshire and enjoy hiking in the mountains. And we should do that. It's beautiful right now. And I think we're going to miss an opportunity if we don't go right away. And then your loved one looks at you and say, I don't know. They say, come on, you've been really tired. You've been like overwhelmed, like a tsunami of schoolwork. Let's take a break. Give that brain a chance to get some good fresh air. And then the satisfaction step. Imagine how good you're going to feel after 24 hours, 48 hours out in the fresh air. You're going to feel like a new person. And then the next step would be the satisfaction. Like, how important is this? How this is really going to bring everything together, and that this is going to be incredibly doable, and I will help us get there. Let's go right now. We're going to feel good about this whole thing. And then the action, call for action. Let's get the phone call. Let's get the reservations. Let's get the GPS on it. And let's put the gas in the car and let's go. I was giving you an example. But the idea is that that's often how we do persuasion, right? You have to get your audience's attention. You have to talk about the need. You have to visualize what it will be like once this happens, right? How great this will be, how we're going to satisfy, and then, of course, the action, call for action. So it is called Alan Monroe's motivated sequence. It's classic. So that was part of the PowerPoint, and you might have already studied that in your English classes. Okay. Oh, I know what else I want to say. Something really important to me. We are going to have a guest on November 4th. This guest is not necessarily a guest speaker, although I hope she does speak. It's my new dean, almost doctor. She's working on her PhD right now, but Dean Jennifer Puniello. She's an incredibly great person. She's one of my favorite deans I've ever had. She's brand new. I think she started in the summertime. And she has great curiosity, heart, connection to her faculty. And her goal is to get to know all the faculty, full-time faculty as I am, what we teach, how we teach. So she's coming in just to see the students, to see how the class goes on Zoom. She's not really here to critique or criticize, and believe me, I've been teaching 42 years. I'm on my way to retirement. I don't do anything to try to impress her. You be yourselves, because I'm going to be myself. This is the only way this is going to work. Sometimes students think when the boss comes in, it's an evaluation process. Well, she is evaluating, but she's not evaluating as far as good or bad. She's evaluating as far as like what happens in these classes. So she's a very curious person, warm-hearted. And she asked me about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, which class, if I had 3 classes that I would invite her in, which 3 would they be? And my first choice was our class. And she said, I could do that on November 4th at 11 o'clock. So I don't know how long she'll stay. She might just stay 15 minutes, maybe an hour. I know the question I'm going to ask her, and I hope she will answer. I want to know about her PhD. What is she studying? Why is she studying it? How she got into the PhD program? And Kareem and I and the rest were speaking about that, like, what would we like to ask her? So I hope there's a chance for us to ask her some questions. So having spoken much longer than I ever intended to, it's almost 12 minutes long, this video, but I wanted to reassure Isha and Margaret and Crystal that we miss them. We're glad that they're coming back. Crystal was under the weather, really under the weather. My heart went out to her deeply. I hope she's feeling better. If she is, please join us on November 4th. If not, come in on November 11th. We'll salute the flag together because God loved the veterans, right? And if this Veterans Day Zoom is taken away from your celebratory time, please do not feel there's any pressure. We will have time to finish our presentations together. We really will. We have a lot of time after Thanksgiving. I've even opened up December 16th, which is not a required Zoom, as an extra Zoom in case we need any makeups to do. So please do not feel like, oh my goodness, I got to get 2 speeches done right now. No, you don't. You get done what makes sense to you. You might have a persuasive speech already prepared from your English class, or maybe just in your own personal lives. You already have a sense what you would like to speak about, so please do it then. I'm really glad we're going to meet this Thursday. We met last Thursday, this Thursday, and potentially the following Thursday. I think that's a good use of my time. I'm really happy for it. Okay, beijinhos. You know what that means? I think that means kisses and love, but I'm not sure. Ciao. Ciao, Bella. Bye. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I mean, it's already Sunday, so I don't know how much weekend you have left. Kareem, thank you so much for sending me Isha's comment, or that she was stuck, or she was the power, because I don't know if I had ever seen that, but I already felt that. I already knew that no one wants to miss out on our Zoom classes. There'd have to be a very good reason that was out of your control. And all 3 ladies definitely had that situation. Okay, go in peace. Bye. You can see I have a hard time saying bye. I got to blow out the candle.